We were on our way to church. It was on Sunday evening. And we got to this intersection and the lady ran the stop sign.
It knocked us around a couple times, you know. We thought the windows was falling out of it because it was a Honda Odyssey. But what it was, it's got blanket airbags. And the whole side was an airbag. And that's what saved my wife from getting hurt real bad.
They were hit very, very hard. And then they took it to a body shop at a dealership where they had done a lot of business with and purchased vehicles before and felt real comfortable with that body shop.
Oh, we thought we would get great. We thought it would be perfect because I asked him, I said, can it be fixed? And he said, they kept telling me it will be better than it was. So after about 4.5 months, I got the calling, you know, I'd call and ask them. They'd say, well, we're waiting on parts or, you know, doing this.
We kind of figured that maybe they weren't working on it at all.
Knowing the length of the stay and the time that the vehicle was there, it threw up some red flags. Anytime a vehicle is in repair over 90 days, generally they're either trying to cover something up or it may be a problem with parts. Well, being a 2008 Honda, you wouldn't expect it to be a tough time finding the parts for it.
When we were sitting out in front of the body shop, you could see like the bumper, the back bumper, it's just a little thin flap. It was loose, you know. And I thought, well, this ain't right. And I asked the guy about that. He said, yeah, I said, that's just a little something, we'll fix that for you.
I drove out and there was a real bad rumbling sound.
I've noticed stuff didn't look right. And the back door, it had a big gap in one side and it was real tight on one side. It was way out.
So if you can look right here and right here, there's a huge gap between the lift gate and the bumper. And then if you go over to the other side of the car, you have a very tight gap. This usually indicates frame damage or something wrong with the vehicle, and that's where we started.
He said, we need to inspect it good. So Ronnie Pack, he got us a car to drive while they inspected it.
Billy Wachowiak, the owner of Collision Safety Consultants, called me and said he had a Honda van he wanted me to look at, to re-inspect, see if it had been repaired correctly.
So after finding the inconsistencies and the gaps in the back of the tailgate, it makes us look a little further. Every time we find something, we delve further into the repair. And what we found is they purchased a brand new striker plate, but they actually bent it at an adverse angle to accommodate the offset of the tailgate. That's just another sign that we know there's something wrong with this repair.
The roof was buckled. The right door didn't shut correctly. Those are things that jumped out at me, and I could tell that they had some serious issues.
You see the interior looks nice, the carpet looks nice, the plastic. Once we remove this, now you see underneath here, there's chisel marks, the floor pan is still damaged, and you've got a weaker structure, not to mention what we found underneath in the unibody.
Once we dismantled, we found the floor pan was really mangled, it should have been replaced. But by replacing the floor would have totaled the vehicle because of just expense.
If you go to a reputable body shop and you take your vehicle in there and without a shadow of a doubt they know it's a total loss, a good body shop will total your car because they're looking out for the safety of the consumer. A body shop that's out and is greedy is going to want to in fact repair that vehicle even though they know the damages may exceed 75% and total the vehicle. But when it comes to a structural component like a floor pan, that is built to take a hit and sustain a vehicle from coming into the cabin or the cavity of the vehicle. So what you see here is there's holes chiseled in the floor of the car where they tried to bang it out, beat it out, and fix it as cheaply as possible. Their grandchildren ride in the back of this van. Do you really think they want them, right underneath them is a hole in the floor?
And that particular seat is where I always put my granddaughter, because that's where she could see me and I could see her.
We wonder if it would have been hit again, you know, they could have been killed. Even the brake lines was dangling down on it. She could have run over a piece of wood or a cement block in the highway and tore the brake line off.
She could have been killed.
It was supposed to have got a new right rocker reinforcement or partial rail, and a new one was ordered, and they cut a piece off of it and welded onto the old one.
Fraud was committed on my customers because the dealership ordered what's called part of a unibody. Most folks would refer to it as a frame. but nowadays it's called a unibody. The dealership or the technician ordered an entire piece about 4 foot long, but instead of replacing the entire piece as required by Honda manufacturing specifications, they cut a piece off of that unibody and welded it in, quite poorly I might add. What the dealer did was charge to put the entire piece in, but as you can see right here, they sectioned this piece here and welded it in, and then right here is damage that is left from the accident. It's still dented and bent, which leaves this structure weakened.
Basically what happens when you don't follow those guidelines that are established by the manufacturer in the repair process, you end up in essence re-engineering the vehicle. Anytime you go outside of those manufacturer recommendations and tolerances, that vehicle is no longer going to perform as they engineered it to perform in an accident.
Once this had taken that crash and hadn't been repaired or the floor pan replaced or that right rocker reinforcement placed, there's no way that it was crash worthy again. It couldn't take the same impact again. The airbags might deploy early, might deploy late.
Honda manufacturers have a specification of 0 tolerance. So your frame is supposed to be zeroed out, and this was 11 to 13 millimeters off. You're going to start wearing tires out, your tires are going to wear your suspension out. Plus here we had that the unibody wasn't sectioned properly and there was still damage in the rear of the vehicle. The structure of this vehicle was left unsound.
It went to court because they would not fix it and they would not pay for it. It would have been so much easier if the body shop had done the right thing to start with.
They did find the body shop at fault for committing fraud and unfair and deceptive trade practices, and they were awarded a little over $120,000. Now they had no out-of-pocket expenses, and the attorney was also awarded his fees in that lawsuit.
It has been a real difficult 3 years for me in my life. Even to the day after it's all over, she still thinks about what could happen to our grandkids in the back of that van. But if it hadn't have been for us getting it checked, we might have been riding around in that van.
Seek out assistance, seek out a second unbiased opinion about your repairs. And that's one of the services that Billy offers. He'll look at any repair and give you a free visual inspection.
The only true way to know if your vehicle is safe is to get a post-collision repair inspection. I see 90% of the vehicles I look at are unsafe. Now I'm not talking about paint not matching up or a fender not fitting properly or anything like that. I'm talking about structural components that leave the occupants of the vehicle unsafe. So the only way to truly know is to get it inspected by somebody. It doesn't take but 15 minutes to go in and get a post-collision repair inspection, and it's free for the visual inspection. You go about your way. Best case scenario, your car's fixed perfectly. Worst case scenario is they uncover the bad repairs and the unsafe repairs, and you get it repaired properly.
Everybody that's had an accident should do that, should get a post inspection.
Now for a little scrape, a bumper or a fender bent, no. But one that's tore up as bad as our van was, I definitely get it inspected.